So I want to talk about this case, Cameron Todd Willingham. So Cameron Todd Willingham is a 36-year-old man who's going to get executed in Texas for setting a house fire that killed his three daughters. So 2004, Cameron Todd Willingham is going to be executed in Texas. He had three daughters, Amber, Cameron, Carmen, and this was in Corsicana, and his wife was Stacy Coy Kendall, and the governor was Rick Perry at the time. Rick Perry could have pardoned him or given him a stay, but he went ahead and let him get executed. Cameron Todd Willingham did not set his house on fire. It was either an electrical fire or the space heater fell over. So it was either through a space heater or the electrical fire. So they went ahead and killed him, even though he's an innocent man. And this story comes out of this book, John Grisham Framed, which is such a good book. This is such a good book. Everybody should be reading all these pages, all these different stories. You know, they're old, so you won't have any bias, and then they're kind of obscure. So even though the media covered them at the time, they quickly moved on to the next thing. So I want to read what had happened, but first I want to mention what his last words were. His last words were remarkable. I thought they were pretty remarkable. So he had said, "From God's dust I came, and to dust I will return. So the earth shall become my throne." He's a Christian. He's a good Christian man. That's just like Joe Bryan. Joe Bryan was a good Christian man. Joe Bryan didn't do a damn thing wrong. He didn't have the motive, the demeanor. Joe Bryan was also in this book, Framed. There's another thing where they had like 10 suspects. They had one guy that admitted to him that he did it, but they already had 10 suspects that they were putting in jail and working on a case. And instead of believing the truth, they want to maintain the so-called integrity of their bullshit case. And they didn't listen to the person that had admitted to do the damn thing. And they concluded that everybody who lied got away with everything. Those who told the truth got fucked the fuck over. How come those who tell the truth get fucked the fuck over? Somebody's sitting there talking to somebody, and the person is like, well, I'll just, answer honestly and just talk to them. And then they'll see, by my virtue, by my halo, by my answers, that, that everything is on the up and up. Why would a bunch of liars get away with all their criminal bullshit, and the truth tellers, why would they get fucked the fuck over? Why would they get fucked the fuck over? That makes no damn sense. So let's get to his final words. Not only did he say, "From God's dust I came, and to dust I will return, so the earth shall become my throne." That is actually very powerful. Now, I'm a non-believer, but the way that I understand these words is that, we all get it in the end, right? Death is the great equalizer. From God's dust I came, and to dust I will return. So he's going to die right away, and his parents were there, and they're going to take his ashes, because he was cremated, and they sprinkled his ashes on his children's graves, on the children's graves. Cameron, what were the names? Cameron, Amber, and Carmen. He loved his kids. He didn't want to see his kids die. The entire investigation was such bullshit. People are just looking to blame somebody, and they want to point a finger. But that wasn't the only thing he said. "From God's dust I came, and to dust I will return, so the earth shall become my throne." In this book, it just said, then he had a curse-filled laden message for his ex-wife. And then, it's only like 3 sentences, so it's kind of crazy that they wouldn't just produce, just write the 3 sentences. And then this article is kind of crazy too, because this woman who's, witnessed like a whole bunch of executions, like a sick psychopath that she is, she's witnessed like a whole bunch of executions, and she was like, this one really disturbed me. Michael Lyons. She watched a whole bunch of people on death row die in Texas. So what the hell is Michelle Lyons doing? Why is she witnessing over 280 people die? And looking at her picture, she looks like a total psycho. It's like she wants to see the face of death right then and there. And here's what she says in her book, Death Row, The Final Minutes. His last statement was the worst that I had ever seen. His last statement was the worst I had ever seen. Oh, man. This is doing so good, and now we got a heater to compete with. I'm going to go on. His last statement was the worst I'd ever seen. It was vulgar, and it was hateful. His wife was watching from the witness room, and I was told later by the chaplaincy that she had come to witness not on his behalf, but as one of the victims. It was vulgar, and it was hateful. You're putting to death an innocent man, you know? So I'm thinking, my God, what was he just like, you stupid fucking pile of shit, you stupid ugly piece of crap, what the fuck is the matter with you, you stupid ugly goddamn pile of shit, you big old pile of shit motherfucker, what the fuck would you do this? You know that I had nothing to do with it, you stupid fuck, and now you're gonna come here? And then she says that she didn't go there to witness on his behalf, but as one of the victims of what he did to her. Oh, fucking shit. Talk about people that just try to put on a veneer, put on a fake face to, you know, go along with what it seems like. And then there was a lot of protest at the, you know, a lot of people are pissed off about this. He's exonerated. He's exonerated. It was a bunch of junk science. You had this arson investigator. Well, he directed so much vitriol towards her that the warden actually started the execution as he was talking to make him stop. Hey, hey, don't you yell at this ex-wife of yours. And then Willingham, 36, gave his ex-wife Stacy Cool Kendall the middle finger with his right hand as he was strapped to the gurney that evening in February 2004. According to Michelle's notes, Willingham said, "The only statement I want to make is that I'm an innocent man, convicted of a crime I did not commit. I have been persecuted for 12 years for something I did not do. From God's dust I came, and to dust I will return, so the earth shall become my throne." For 12 years they went after this guy. My God, can you... Okay, let's keep going. These are his final words, right? That's not it. It wasn't just this nice Christian little message. He says, "I gotta go, road dog. I love you, Gabby." Addressing his wife, who was less than 10 feet away behind a plexiglass, he says, "I hope you rot in hell, bitch. I hope you fucking rot in hell, you bitch. I hope you fucking rot, cunt." That is it. That is it. He put a period on it. You know, he ended it with, "That is it." Michelle said Willingham's ex-wife did not look surprised, and she appeared to shake her head. Oh, boy. That's Todd for you. Man, that damn Todd. Oh, man. He's a firecracker to the end. And even in this, you know, these two articles, they bleep out, you know, fucking and B word and the C word. I could understand the guy being fucking pissed off. He's an innocent man being executed. He just lost his goddamn family. He just lost 3 baby girls. He just lost 3 baby girls because of an accidental fire, and because you stupid, you know, sons of bitches want to point your finger at somebody. He's going to get executed. He's going to get blamed for killing his own kids. They were 1-year-old twins, Carmen and Cameron, and 2-year-old Amber. And they were killed in a fire a few days before Christmas in 1991. They had actually gone to Kmart or something to get, you know, family photos. They were going to have, you know, the grandparents were coming in to visit. They were going to do this, you know, big Christmas thing. They were getting excited for Christmas. So the only statement I want to make is that I'm an innocent man, convicted of a crime I did not commit. I have been persecuted for 12 years for something I did not do. From God's dust I came, and to dust I will return, so the earth shall become my throne. I gotta go, road dog. I love you, Gabby. Then turning to his wife, who was behind a plexiglass screen just a few meters away, he says, "I hope you rot in hell, bitch. I hope you fucking rot in hell, you bitch. I hope you fucking rot, cunt." That is it. So out of 280 executions, that was the worst thing that she's ever seen. I mean, how come they're not fighting and saying, "No, I'm innocent. What are you doing? You know, even if you're guilty, like, you know, you don't want to be like me, you know, eye for an eye, make the world blind. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Eye for an eye. Makes the whole world blind." So those were his final words. And now I'm going to read this, just 2 pages. It's not the whole thing. But just what happened? Just what happened? So Sunday, December 22nd. I wish the heater wasn't going on, but I'll bet you I'll turn off in the middle. On Sunday, December 22nd, Todd's stepmother, Eugenia, called and talked to him. She and Todd's father were planning a visit from Oklahoma in a couple of days to see the children for Christmas. So the stepmother, that's her, Stacy's mother, right? So he's inviting step-parents to come in for the holidays, and he's going to set the fucking house on fire before then? Makes no damn sense. From Oklahoma in a couple days, Todd was in great spirits, ready for the holidays, enjoying his small children. He was pleased because he and Stacy had taken the 3 kids to Kmart for family photos and couldn't wait to share some with the grandparents. This is from The Fire Does Not Lie by John Grisham. The following morning, Stacy left the house early to shop for Christmas gifts at the Salvation Army. Todd was babysitting the 3 girls. He gave the twins a bottle, and they fell asleep in their usual spot on the floor of their bedroom. Amber was napping too. Todd stretched out on his bed and drifted away. Around 10 a.m., he was awakened by Amber screaming, "Daddy, Daddy." He bolted upright and was immediately hit with thick smoke. The house was on fire. He scrambled out of bed, and as he was grabbing a pair of pants, he yelled, "Oh God, Amber, get out of the house, get out of the house." He could not see her, and she never responded. Staying low to avoid smoke, he headed for the children's bedroom, but could see nothing but black smoke. He heard sockets and light switches popping. At the door to the children's bedroom, he tried to stand, but his hair caught on fire. The heat and smoke were too intense, and it drove him back. He managed to pat out the fire in his hair, got on all fours, and crawled and groped his way through the darkness. When he realized he was about to pass out, he scrambled down the corridor and burst out the front door, gasping for air. When he looked back at the house, he was horrified. Smoke was pouring out of it. A neighbor, Diane Barbie, saw the smoke and came running. Todd yelled for her to call the fire department, then found a stick and broke a window to the children's bedroom. Fire shot through the broken pane. He broke another pane and more flames escaped. A neighbor later told police that Todd was crying, "My babies, my babies." As the heat intensified, all 5 windows in the children's bedroom exploded and flames blew out. As Diane Barbie described it, the first squad of firemen arrived and scurried around stretching hoses and spraying water. More neighbors gathered at the commotion and were aghast when they realized the children were still inside. Todd became even more hysterical. A police chaplain, George Monaghan, M-O-N-A-G-H-A-N, Monaghan, I don't know, grabbed him and led him to the back of a fire truck in an effort to calm him. He was crying and saying, "My little girl was trying to wake me up and tell me about the fire. Couldn't get my babies." When a fireman emerged from the house, cradling the limp body of Amber, Todd broke and ran to them and then made a dash towards the children's room, with flames and smoke still roaring through the windows. Another fireman grabbed him and with George's help, managed to restrain him. Todd was 6 feet tall, strong, and never shy about physical contact, and it took several firemen to hold him back. George received a black eye in the melee. A fireman later said, "Based on what I saw on how the fire was burning, it would have been crazy for anyone to try to go back into the house." Todd was taken to the hospital, treated for minor cuts and burns. While there, he was told that Amber had died of smoke inhalation, and the burned bodies of Cameron and Carmen were found on the floor of their room. That's got to be the worst goddamn days ever. That has to be the worst goddamn day ever. And then just like Joe Bryan, right, he finds out that his wife was viciously murdered, rushes back to the house only for the cops to say he did it. And then, so not only do you have to deal with the loss of somebody that you lost, somebody that you loved and is gone for good. So you have to think about, death and, what becomes us all and, the trauma of losing somebody you love. They turn around and say it was your fucking fault. God damn, that has to be intensify the trauma like 20 times over. So what the fuck, Texas? What the fuck, Rick Perry? You executed an innocent man. You executed an innocent man for no damn reason. And I don't know. The fact that this lady is sitting there talking about how it was the worst she ever saw, I think that's kind of remarkable. You seen 280 executions, you sick psychopath. You sick psychopath, you know? She would be somebody that would buy Faces of Death and just, sit there and watch it over and over again. She probably loves this genocide happening in Gaza right now. Yeah, genocide in South Africa, right? Please. If there's a genocide, how come only 46 of the so-called people being genocided came to America? That's the worst? That's the worst? My God, go to a bar, go to the trailer park, I hear people talk that crazy, I don't want to say all the time, but I gotta go, Road Dog. I love you, Gabby. I hope you rot in hell, B. I hope you fucking rot in hell, you B. I hope you fucking rot, C. It's not the worst thing ever. And then last, I'm going to end off with the book of Job. When I think about what he means with ashes to ashes, and then his earth is the throne, we're only here but a blink in time. And you got to capture that blink in time, right? So the gods actually looked upon the mortals with, both sadness or whatever, just pity. They would look at mortals with pity because, well, you're going to die, right? So you're just going to live, you're going to die. But because we're only here for a blink of time, those mortals who were heroes during their blink in time are like exceptional. They're incredible heroes, Artemis and Aphrodite and Hercules, they'll live forever. But man is only here for a blink in time. So if you're able to do something incredible, so when it says that the earth is his throne, he died, and there was really no point to his life, his existence. He had 3 babies. They got burnt up. He had no second chances. They put the blame on him. It was an accident. It was total. It was an accident. He didn't fucking do it. He had nothing to do with it. He put the babies to bed, had a bottle. He fell asleep. Something had happened. Electrical, space heater, fire's happening. He's trying to get to the children's room. He actually regretted. He said something that he went to the bedroom, but he said that he had lied about that because he didn't want people to think that he was a coward, because he tried to get to their bedroom, but it's eventually just saved his own ass, right? Saved his own hide. But he, gets out of the house. He barely gets out of the house. He could have died of smoke inhalation himself. And poor Amber, she had cried daddy, and that's what had woken him up. So if anything, one of his babies had saved his life, just so Rick Perry could see him get executed. Blackstone's ratio says that we'd rather see 10 guilty people go free than to see one innocent person suffer. That's the whole guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. That you got to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. His public defender, my God, his public defender had tried to get him to accept a life in prison deal. Why don't you just do life in prison? I didn't fucking do it. All you got to do is say guilty and your life will be spared. But I didn't fucking do it. I can't say I did something that I didn't fucking do. And the public defender, what a shitty public defender. He's like, when the evidence looks like he's guilty, what am I supposed to do? He said he wasn't. What evidence? Some pictures of the house after it was burnt down? They want to say that there was burn marks in the hallway. Oh, really? The whole fucking house was on fire. The whole fucking house burnt up. You don't know which burn mark started and which burn mark ended. You have a witness testimony. Witness testimony is one piece of evidence. So it wasn't all the evidence. You had the main evidence, him. Put him on the stand. Let him explain what the fuck he went through, what the fuck happened. Man, lawyers are absolute shit sometimes. They just fucking give up before they don't even try. So Blackstone's ratio, it's the exact opposite, right? Once somebody gets fingered, once somebody makes the arrest, then people start snickering. And, Stacy had stood, by his side for a really long time, but then eventually, turned against him. Turned state's evidence. Which that has to be, what a huge betrayal. Like, what a huge betrayal. Like, you think I They said that he had lack of injuries, but he had some burn marks and he had some, black marks on him. So, I mean, he woke up, a thing of smoke, and then he runs out, right? He can't see anything. So he didn't get burnt. They said he was barefoot. How come his feet weren't burned and all this other crazy shit? People, if you paint up a good enough picture, people will believe any goddamn thing. But he's presumed innocent until he's proven guilty. Right? You're innocent until proven guilty. And then the case has to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. There's plenty of reasonable doubts. Plenty of reasonable doubts. That jury fucking sucked. That judge, that court, that trial, those proceedings were terrible. They were terrible. So to end this off, I just want to read Job chapter 40. And actually, I'll read it all. I'll read all of it, okay? Are you ready to hear me read some more? So this comes from the book of Job, chapter 40. It's in the Bible. And the Lord said to Job, shall a fault finder contend with the Almighty? He who argues with God, let him answer it. Then Job answered the Lord, behold, I am of small account. What shall I answer thee? I lay my hand on my mouth. I have spoken once, and I will not answer twice, but I will proceed no further. Then God answered Job out of the whirlwind. Gird up your loins like a man. I will question you, and you will declare to me. And you will answer me. Will you even put me in the wrong? Will you condemn me that you may be justified? Have you an arm like God, and can you thunder with a voice like his? Job had to go through such a crazy ordeal, and he still believed in God. And God was basically fucking with Job he was making a deal with the devil. The devil was like, oh, every one of your humans will turn against you if they have a bad life. You give them riches and glory and honor and, good wine and food. Of course they'll love you. But the moment they go through strife or struggle, they'll turn on you in an instant. And so God gave Job hell, made Job go through hell. And Job never gave up, never gave God up. And he's asking, do you have an arm like God? Yeah. Can you thunder with a voice like his? Yeah, no. I mean, I don't. Where are you going with this? Deck yourself with majesty and dignity. Clothe yourself with glory and splendor. Pour forth the overflowings of your anger, and look on everyone that is proud and abase him. Look on everyone that is proud and bring him low, and tread down the wicked where they stand. Hide them all in the dust together, bind their faces in the world below. Then I will also acknowledge to you that your own right hand can give you victory. Your own right hand can give you victory. So it just makes you think his own, he gave a fuck you right before he got fucking executed. And then he says that was it. So he had two sentences. So, this damn author, whoever the fuck, she's like just so appalled that a guy said cuss words. I keep thinking of this song. I can't believe he called her the B word. That son of a donkey. What a son of a donkey, huh? Our president said Kaepernick was a son of a bitch. He was 36 years old. He still had 40 years left to live. And she's appalled. Out of all the executions, that was like one of the... that was the one that got to her. He shouldn't have said all those. Why? Because he was an innocent man being fucking murdered. I think an innocent man who's going to be murdered for no damn reason. I think he has a right to basically say whatever the fuck he wants to say, and should really, not only should he speak in harsh terms, but he should be fighting for his life. He should have tried to run out the damn door, try to push the jailers over. Anyways, that's a little bit of the story of Cameron Todd Willingham. And do I have anything else here for you? I don't. So that's it for now. Peace.